Do you think that the United States equities have risen above their value in this situation?
I think the question was, did the U.S. equities offer fair value in this situation? And I think that there's a huge amount of money still on the sidelines around the world in the equity markets. And the U.S. equity market obviously has had a very nice recovery off of the March lows. Some would argue that the valuations are a bit ahead of themselves. They're certainly based on forecast earnings for corporate earnings that are quite robust. We are seeing earnings come through the most recent cycle as relatively positive. A number of companies are reporting earnings now and this week, and we're starting to see some pretty good results for earnings growth. But the valuations forecast a continuation of that growth, and I think that will be difficult to sustain. So there's no doubt we may see some retracing of equity market action in the months and quarters to come. But I think long term, when you look at the alternatives for investment, with interest rates at a historical low and money still on the sidelines, I think there's a lot of support for continued uptrend in equity markets around the world. We certainly see some opportunities for strong equity markets outside the United States as well.
What's your advice to people with money on the sidelines? Do you think that they should buy equities or wait for a little while?
Well, I think there are going to be opportunities and entry levels into the market. I think it's unlikely that we'll see the equity markets continue unabated in an upward advance without having some retracing. I think that there are going to be other places for people to kind of think about allocating money. Obviously, property is taking a significant downturn as a function of the recession, and there are some valuations there that are somewhat attractive, whether in direct investment or in traded entities such as property ETFs, for instance. So there are other alternatives to the equity market, but I think in the long term, equities still offer significant growth opportunities for the average investor.